Good morning, everybody. Anybody watch Luke Cage yet? Luke Cage is out. I've been waiting for this show for 2 years now. Luke Cage is out on Netflix this morning. I have yet to see it. I have a show. I'm going into the city any minute now to New York City. I have a show at 7 o'clock tonight, improv comedy. Come check it out. We're going to have a good time tonight. Friday, 7 o'clock at the Broadway Comedy Club, 318 West 53rd Street. Go to NewYorkImprovTheater.com to get some cheap tickets. And we're going to have a good time. But I want to do this little thing before I go. And I love these little broadcasts because it kind of focuses my mind. When I get to do stand-up comedy, it gives me a whole bunch of stuff to talk about and really processing all the stuff out there. But I am super psyched for Luke Cage that just is out on Netflix now. I don't think I'm sleeping for the next 2 or 3 days. I'm going to be binging because I'm too busy to stay home all day and watch it. So I have to watch it tonight because I need to know what goes on. At least the first few episodes. I love Daredevil. I love Jessica Jones, Daredevil 2. I am so psyched for this. I can't wait for Iron Fist and the Defenders. S.H.I.E.L.D. is amazing this week. I grew up a DC kid, but Marvel is killing it on TV. So let's get to the point. Donald Trump, as always, right? Donald Trump, hashtag what the fuck, WTF. Donald just keeps whining. The problem with Donald Trump is he's going around complaining about all these people talking about him when the person talking about him the most is himself, and he keeps the story alive. Monday night, Hillary Clinton brought up the story of Miss America, right? The next night, Miss America went on NBC and did an interview. And every day since, Donald Trump keeps talking about it. He can't shut up about it because he knows he's wrong. And so he keeps attacking the messenger because no one's saying, oh, Donald, you're right. He hasn't convinced anyone other than the 20% of Americans that the alt-right folks that are completely on his side from day one, no matter what. You really could go shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and they'd still be friends because they don't really know the real Donald Trump, clearly. So, but he's freaking out. He woke up at 3 in the morning, I'm told, and he just couldn't sleep. So he had to go Twitter. And I don't even think it's the Miss America thing. The reason he's freaking out, we have 3 newspapers today. That one that has never declared, USA Today has never said they are for or against a certain candidate. They've always tried to stay impartial as the media goes. And 2 that are outright, pardon me, 2 that are outright right-wing papers that have never in 100 plus years, I think the one in Arizona, one of them in Detroit, 143 years, has never come out against a Republican. None of them are saying, hey, vote for Hillary. They're not saying that, but they're all saying Donald Trump is unfit for office. And so he's attacking the media. He can't argue with the message. He has to attack the messenger. It's the media that lies, not him. Now, here's the thing. I don't think this is the case of a guy that's arguing that that they're lying as much as he believes his own lies. I think he actually believes his own lies. The narcissism and his sociopathic tendencies are so extreme. It's stuff coming out of the, and then he complains everybody's being mean to him. No, they're just repeating your own words, Donald, and flabbergasted at what you say and do on a daily basis and what you've done your entire life, which has sold and built some buildings, right? Without paying everybody. I don't know if he's ever done a building where he's paid everybody what they were promised. I don't know, because we keep hearing one story after another where a building is not, the people that built the building, the glass people, the contractors, who you name it, are not being paid, and then employees not being paid because he goes bankrupt, right? Every single day we hear a new story. Now we got the Castro connection, as in the Newsweek. But of course, the media lies. So what's his name from Newsweek is a complete liar. So here are just some of the tweets Donald Trump has given us in the last 24 hours. Donald J. Trump, the people are really smart in canceling subscriptions to the Dallas and Arizona papers, and now USA Today will lose readers. The people get it. The people and some people are not the same thing. Yeah, some people might cancel their subscriptions because they're saying, oh my gosh, Donald Trump is like Jesus walking on earth right now. He's our savior. He's the only one that can save us from the evil DC. So they picked an evil genius to save them, and genius I use lightly, to save them from evil DC, right? Remember, don't believe sources said, by the very dishonest media. If they don't name the sources don't exist. I think this is your own argument because the media does support what they say. The guy in Newsweek said, Donald Trump says, oh, there's no proof, there's no proof, there's no proof. All of his pundits are out there, all his surrogates and talking heads said, there's no proof, there's no proof, there's no proof. And then the guy from Newsweek tweets, here's a letter from your office, from your exec saying, hide the money in the charity. If you hide it in the charity, we can avoid prosecution. They had the letter that his people sent. I don't know how they got a copy of it. Clearly somebody is talking in his own organization. The media has the proof. What they don't have proof, anybody has proof, is what Hillary has claimed to have done, right? Or what they've claimed Hillary has done. They have proof for everything they claim you have said or done. They have your own tweets. They have your own words. They have video. This beautiful thing called video. This social media thing that you have embraced. There is a record of everything you have said and done. That's the problem being such a public figure. You're not a real outsider. You're an outsider that is very well documented as being a total douchebag. All right? And we have evidence. It's something that you don't like because it's usually used against you. So, of course, you have to attack things called facts. What's that? Yeah, you know what? I don't know. But you know what? I'm not saying Hillary's perfect, but there's a lot of allegations. There's a lot of allegations. But you're exactly right. Where are the 33,000 emails? We don't know. But you know what we do know? Where the proof is for everything they've said about Donald Trump. We have proof that is shown to the public. And the people that haven't seen it are the ones that are watching Fox News that don't want to see it. Fox News lands all kinds of allegations and has zero proof for any of it. Any of it. The things that have been proven have been apologized for. You know what I mean? There's zero proof. The proof is in the tweets, yeah. All this stuff that Donald says, and even worse, like these stories would go away so much quicker if Donald just shut his trap. Nobody would be talking about Miss America 5 days later if it wasn't for Donald. Donald is an idiot. He keeps talking about things because he's under attack and he can't let it go. It's bugging him. He's saying, somebody doesn't like me, so I have to attack the media until everybody's convinced that I'm the great guy I think I am. Yeah. And I used to watch all the news stations to get fair and balanced because Fox has never been fair and balanced, even when they claim to be, right? You watch a little MSNBC, a little CNN, you read some papers, you watch some Fox, you even turn on Rush Limbaugh, God forbid, once in a while for a few minutes. I can't do that anymore. I am so disgusted. Like, the right-wing media has gotten so far right-wing. The thing is, the left-wing, the liberals, have come to center. That's why they're, like, winning national elections. They got smart. I was a Republican in the 90s. Couldn't stand the left-wing because they were so extremist one-issue voters. Now, most of the Republican Party are extremist one-issue voters. And they're not coming together. They can't come together because they have zero leadership that anybody respects. And the people that they've chosen to be the leader is Donald Trump.
Oops.
Have I seen Clinton Cash? What is that, a show? Is that, what's Clinton Cash? I've yet to see anything that proves anything. I've seen nothing but allegations. And the allegations I've seen, now the problem is people like the alt-right use pseudoscience to prove religion. Religion is a faith-based belief. There is no science that proves religion. I'm sorry. There's zero science. But that's the way it's meant to be. I'm not saying that's anything wrong with that. But the people that try to prove religion and existence of God and Jesus and other stuff and blah, 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 blah with science, it doesn't work because it requires faith. Those same people have faith that Clinton is corrupt. I'm not saying she is. I'm saying they're equally corrupt. Oh, a documentary. Who produced the documentary? See, that's the problem. Who is the messenger? The media backs up with facts. Clinton campaign has the alt-right that has documentary, has all these crazies on the right that have one documentary after another, have one allegation after another, have a daily stream of hundreds of right-wing media, the same people that the right-wing hates. The right-wing media that has allegations after allegations after allegations. They have zero proof. They have a lot of coincidental evidence, right? Circumstantial evidence that points that something may be wrong. And I'm not saying that nothing's wrong. I'm not saying that, yeah, and YouTube, that's right, it's on YouTube. It's on the internet, so it must be true. right? I'm sorry. I'll go watch it, and I'll just watch it and say, okay, where's the actual proof? And where is a second source that says the exact same thing? Because even on Fox Media, we have pundits saying, she's a crook, she's bliss, she's that, she's that. And again, for those who are watching, if you are an alt-right douchebag, I'm not a big Hillary fan. I'm just saying they're equally corrupt. Everything you're saying about Hillary might have taken money from people for favors. Donald Trump was the buyer, or one of the buyers, for all these years. Donald Trump is not a Republican. Donald Trump is not anybody you can trust any more than Hillary Clinton. The difference is Hillary Clinton has a fucking clue when it comes to what needs to happen to run this country. She's more center than Obama. So if you think Obama's too left, Obama's been too weak. Do I watch Lou Dobbs? Not anymore. I used to. I can't. I don't watch anybody on Fox News anymore because they've gone so far to the right. Here's the difference. I watch MSNBC and I poke holes in the extreme left stuff that's said. Or when Hillary's pundits, I roll my eyes when they say, well, he said this. They both do it. The difference is, like, the Republican strategists that are on MSNBC that hate Trump, right? Or even on CNN. Anybody that is a talking head or a pundit on any channel, I can't stand. But the Fox News folks are no better than the radio people these days. And I used to like Fox News, but I can't stand it. Lou Dobbs is is more centrist than most. I could take Lou Dobbs from time to time. O'Reilly is now the moderate voice of Fox News, right? The loudmouth from 10 years ago is now the moderate voice. I'm sorry. And there's nothing to convince me to say that Trump is a better choice than Hillary at this point. I am that far gone. I was looking Monday night for a reason to vote for Donald Trump. 100% honest. I was looking for a reason to say Donald Trump has a fucking clue. He doesn't. Now, I understand the people that hate Hillary. I think there's a lot of people out there that hate Hillary so much that they're not paying attention to what Donald Trump is saying. I don't hate anybody, all right? I despise the idea of Donald Trump being president based on his lack of knowledge, his lack of talent, his lack of skill. I think they're equally deplorable in the corruption world. When it comes to corruption, they're equally deplorable. We just need to hear about the issues that he won't shut up about. Yeah. And this is the thing. So what happens when Angela Merkel calls Donald Trump on some bullshit? Are we going to hear 2 weeks of nonsense because his feelings are hurt? Like, he can't take, he says a whole bunch of shit. The problem is he says shit, he doesn't think anybody pays attention. We all pay attention. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law, okay? Or the court of public opinion. Hillary is unliked by a lot of people. Donald Trump is unliked by more. Alex Jones? Fuck no. I use Alex Jones. Alex Jones is the biggest joke in this country. If you think Alex Jones is your source of facts, you are hopeless. I'm sorry. If you're an Alex Jones fan, then if that's your source of news, you're hopeless. And I think the problem is there's 10 to 20% in this country that think like you do. Alex Jones, and I'm not sure if you're telling me these things because you want me to be pro Alex Jones or Lou Dobbs. It's people like Alex Jones that are the reason we are where we are. The reason people distrust our leaders as much as they do. Not that they deserve trust, but that they distrust Washington to the level of vehemency that people do. It's because of Alex Jones and all the racist douchebags that can't handle a black man as president. Period. Not all Republicans are racists, but the ones that absolutely can't stand a black man having more power than you because you're white and you got white privilege, right? I'm a white man who's completely okay working for a woman, working for a black man, working for a Hispanic woman, working for anybody. I don't care. If they're competent, great. And I don't agree with everything Obama's done, but he's done a lot better job. I think he's done a better job than Clinton. What's going on in D.C. right now, it's worse than when Clinton was president. It's worse than when Bush was in president. The DC climate, the sabotage that's going on. I don't think, let's say it, the reason I'm not a Democrat is because all the shit that was said about Bush for 8 years by the Democratic Party, right? The party that's not in power has to make the excuses, has to put people down, because nobody on either side of the aisle are making very good logical statements, right? The argument, there is no public debate. There is screaming by the extreme left, and for those who don't know me, I am extreme center. I am begging for all of those intelligent folks in the center to get loud like me, because all the left and right have been loud for a long time. We need to get loud in the center and drag those extremist douchebags from both sides of the aisle back to the center, where we can get shit done and move forward. We can't get shit done because we have been the silent majority. The silent majority are not the religious right. They are the screaming minority. The extreme liberals are the screaming minority. The extreme centrists have been the silent majority for way too long. We have been turned off and numbed by the bullshit on the far left and the far right for too long. Or you're a party loyalist who drinks the Kool-Aid, right? And up until recently, I was like debating, let's just go after Gary Johnson. Let's get Gary Johnson elected. What can we do to get Gary Johnson elected? Clearly, he's not the answer. The other guy, maybe, right? Ward, I think his name is, the vice president from the Libertarian Party. I think on paper I am libertarian. I'm conservative. The problem is the definition of conservatism by a bunch of douchebags, racist, sexist, homophobic douchebags, are labeling conservatism as like Nazism is conservatism, right? That's not conservatism. Pro-choice is the conservative position, politically. Extreme right, religious, that is intolerant of everybody else. I am become intolerant of intolerance. I'm sorry. The idiots, the douchebags, the assholes, and the morons that are given voice by Donald Trump have had their platform for too long, and it's time for those of us in the center. And when the left wing starts doing stupid shit and start blowing up things because they're environmentalists, environmental terrorists again, I'm going to be just as loud against them. We just haven't had a lot of that in recent years, right? They're not saying we want to take your guns away anymore. They're not saying that, right? Right? Name calling isn't necessary. Well, I know. How is he going to lower taxes? He's going to lower taxes so that he and his buddies. Now the problem is, how does he lower taxes when he pays no taxes? Maybe Donald Trump is looking for a tax credit because he's a billionaire. The new billionaire tax credit. We don't pay any taxes because we have so many things. We write everything off, including we have shell corporations. They need a tax credit for being so smart to pay zero taxes. If you want to balance the budget, make Donald Trump pay his fair share. And we could do a flat tax. We could do a flat tax. I don't care. I like the idea of a flat tax. A flat tax was zero deductions. Zero deductions. Flat tax was zero deductions. And everybody has to pay across the board. If you make $15,000 a year, you're putting $1,500 into the federal government. If you're whatever that 10%, 15%, 20%, because all the people that pay zero, including the people that just collect billions of dollars in capital gains as income, or millions of dollars as capital gains as income, he doesn't like Clinton very much. No, I don't love Clinton. I think Clinton is corrupt. Period. But I think Donald's more corrupt. And I think Donald doesn't know how to deal with corruption. The problem with Donald Trump, he's now in the public eye like he's never been. He's always been in the public eye. He said, oh, listen, I'm a celebrity. I can ride that into the White House. The problem is everybody starts nitpicking on everything you've ever done. And every day we're finding out something new. For 30 years, the right has tried to take down Clinton and failed. For 30 years, they've tried to take down the Clintons, and nothing has stuck. If anything, if all they needed was one thing, and what the right has gone after Clinton for, Bill and Hillary, dozens of things that could have landed them in jail. Trump has the best tax plan. Yeah. How much money do you make? How much taxes do you pay? How much are you going to save? His tax plan will raise the deficit. So Trump will pay less taxes, but your kids, your grandkids,
It's the same as Bush's.
will pay less.
That's what happened. It's the same.
Yeah. So apparently, low energy Jeb Bush had all the great ideas.
I was talking about Bush too.
Oh yeah, George. Yeah. And the taxes are not high right now. People pay a lot of money in taxes, but taxes are not high. They weren't raised under Obama that much because the Republican right. So the thing is, you put Hillary in, she's not going to be able to raise her taxes because the Republican Congress is in charge of taxes. If you're paying too much taxes, if your taxes went up in the last year, in the last 8 years, blame Republican Congress, because if you don't know how government works, it's the House of Representatives that start all the spending bills. It's the House of Representatives that is the most extreme right body of government probably since the 1950s that exists right now. Right? They're so far right now in the House of Representatives. So far, so extreme, to the point where somebody 10 years ago, the liberals were calling a racist, extremist, right-wing nut job, Boehner, or John Boehner as I like to call him. Yeah. What is the trickle-down theory?
You just explain it a little bit.
Well, trickle-down theory assumes that if we give Donald Trump $1 billion extra a year in tax breaks, he's going to hire people. He'll hire plenty of illegals to be his domestic help, and he'll hire a lot of people, give people jobs, and spend money, put money into the economy, which will in turn raise income, which increases tax income because all these people now are going to be working, and that has never worked. It has never worked. So he won't make anyone else wealthy. Is that a question or a statement? I'm not sure. Or sarcasm.
No, so
Hillary Clinton, I will increase it goes away so fast.
Tax the middle class.
Increase tax on the middle class.
No, 1%, she's saying.
By 1%?
She said she's going to tax the 1%, not the middle class.
Yeah, Hillary's going to tax. And the problem is, in order to get out of the deficit, everybody needs to pay more taxes. The only way, we're in such a jam. We got to pay for the mistakes of the DC for the past 40 years. And you know what? The liberals, when they ran Congress, is why spending is so high. But what happens is, when the Republicans came in, they didn't reduce spending. They reduced taxes. So they reduced the amount of income coming into the government without reducing the amount of expenditures, right? So economics 101, I really believe a Republican Congress with a Democratic president is the best way to go, right? But the other way. If we have Donald Trump with this Congress, we're screwed. Period. We are screwed. Period. If the Congress was to flip Democratic in a heartbeat, I probably would vote for Trump. If you told me today that the Republicans are losing the Senate and the House, I would probably immediately go for Trump. Only because the only way we can go forward is having checks and balances on each other, right? If we have Donald Trump in this Congress, the next Supreme Court judge is going to be so far right, it's going to set us back. The things that they're going to do is going to set the country back. And I'm not talking about setting it back to the 1950s where we hate black people again. No, I'm talking about like pre-civil rights. I'm talking about we're going to set ourselves back to like the dark ages because we're going to reduce all the taxes, and one or two things are going to happen. They're going to get rid of all of the programs, and people are going to be out on the street, right? Or doesn't have to release his tax returns because it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement. Fine, don't release your tax returns. Let Hillary continue to say all the things that she thinks are in there. One or two things are going to happen. He's either not going to release his tax returns because it proves what she's saying is true, or he's not going to release them at all. Like, he's afraid to release them because they'll prove what she's saying is true, or he releases them to say, no, this is not true. I pay taxes. I am a good citizen, I am a good American. I am a person who creates jobs. I'm not somebody who uses my foundation to basically break the law in Cuba or bribe government officials and using other people's money, not even my own money. I actually give money to charity. I'm not the douchebag that everybody makes me out to be. I say some crazy stuff, but if you look at my business, it's legitimate. Forbes came out and says he's worth 3.6 or 3.7 billion dollars, not the 10 plus billion. He's richer than they thought he was, but a third as much as he claims to be, right? If he wants to prove everybody wrong, he has the documents. If they're wrong, he has the documents to prove that they're wrong. Now, you could say, oh yeah, okay, if Hillary releases her emails, then he will release his tax documents. It's apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges. It really is. There's no requirement, but every president for decades has done it. Every presidential candidate for decades has done it. The precedent is there. There's no law that says you have to, but the precedent is there. I will catch. Hey, was that Priya? Hey, was he a Priya? He doesn't have to do anything. And I'm not a Hillary talking head. Where are his tax returns? Where are his tax returns? But I'm saying, basically, the way Donald acts, he gets in that defensive mode. He acts like a guilty party. And Hillary's been there too. When Hillary's confronted, she's poorly handled. I'm not saying she hasn't. But right now, Donald Trump, with the whole fat shaming thing, the way he talks to women, and the problem is Donald Trump can't become president unless he fixes his image with women, blacks, Hispanics, and now with the whole Cuban thing, the biggest Republican bloc that's going to get him elected, and if he wins Florida, potentially, is now blown with the Cuban scandal, right? The allegations towards the Clintons have been there for a long time, but nobody has any proof. They're allegations. People have said things, people have made claims, and I'm not saying they're innocent, but I'm saying equal footing. They are equally corrupt. As somebody in the center, they're equally corrupt. Yeah, all right. I'm with you. You can keep asking for stuff. I'm not asking for anything from Donald Trump. They're equally corrupt. I'm in the center. I'm not saying pro-Hillary, pro-Donald. I think they're equally corrupt. Everyone keeps saying, what about Hillary? What about Hillary? What about Hillary? They hate Hillary. I know just as many people. What about Donald? What about Donald? What about Donald? As somebody in the middle, equal footing. They're equally bad when it comes to corruption and other things. They have equally done things, as far as I'm concerned. One may be worse than the other, and depending if you're left or right, you're going to hate one, hate the other. As someone who's down the middle, I think they're equally corrupt. But Hillary knows her shit. Donald has proven time and time again that he knows nothing. Hillary tore him apart Monday night because everything that she said, he couldn't debate. If he was prepared for the job and was a good Republican candidate, all the things that she said that were bad for the country, he should have been able to say, well, if you do that, you're going to raise the debt. If you do that, you're going to do this. If you do that, you could debate point by point by point. He is unqualified to have that debate. He is unqualified, which means he's going to do one or two things when he becomes president. He'll be a puppet for the extreme right, because that's who got him elected, or he's not going to listen to anybody and he's going to make the most uneducated decisions. Not in every poll. The only polls that Donald won were unscientific snap polls. Every real poll, he has lost like by 20, 30 points. So the problem is you're getting your information from people like Alex Jones. If you watch all the channels and make an educated guess, and I'm going to go on the attack here. I'm sorry. You can keep landing these statements, but I'm sorry. They're untrue. Everything you have said is untrue. I'm looking for something that you say that has factual basis. But you are just as bad as Trump on the Twitter, saying stupid, uneducated, unsupported claims. And I'm sorry, it's kind of sad. It's sad. And anybody with half a brain that cares enough to really educate themselves on the truth. I'm not saying that means you're going to be pro-Hillary, pro-Trump, but say something to me that we can actually have a conversation about. Because if you're getting your information from Alex Jones, clearly you're going to hate Hillary, and nothing I say is going to come around. But you're living your life based on lies and fear, ignorance, and which makes you an asshole. I'm sorry. You know, I have this whole stand-up routine about the assholes and morons of the world. Not the real Time Magazine poll, though. The Time Magazine poll that's online. Hey, who do you think won? Click, 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 click. It probably Alex Jones were 10,000 clicks. Yeah. So there are people out there, and I'm not saying not liking Hillary, there's anything wrong with you for not liking Hillary. I'm just saying, give me a good reason to vote for Trump. Give me a good reason to hate Hillary. Less lies, fear, and ignorance equals election time. Lies, fear, and ignorance equals election time. Yeah. Lies, fear, and ignorance equals racism, homophobia, sexism, period. Bigotry. Lies, fear, ignorance leads to bigotry. And the people that are believing the lie, you know, you're surrounded by people that are just perpetuating the lies and the opinions and calling it facts. And you know what? Like I said, it happens on the liberal side too. But I've seen proof of everything they're saying about Trump. I've seen the proof. And if you haven't seen the proof, you're just not digging deep enough, because it doesn't take much. It's out there. It's out there. There are YouTube videos claiming how bad Hillary is, right? There are radio people and people on Fox News every day claiming how bad Hillary is. But where is the paper trail that you could take to a court of law and say, this happened, right? That you could take to the Congress and say, this happened. Congress has spent hours and hours and hours. Oh, why don't I have the proof? Oh, if you want, I can dig it up. I'll retweet. I retweet the proof every day. Go to my Twitter and go down the scroll. It's out there. I don't have it right here. I'm sorry. I'm not media. I am somebody. I am like on level with Alex Jones. I'm just talking my opinion here. The proof is so hard to find. Which proof? What proof is hard to find? The proof that Hillary is corrupt, or the proof that Donald Trump said what he said 2 days ago on Twitter? I said if. Oh. Uh-oh. I got a cat coming in here. Yeah. And again, I'm not going to argue. I mean, as a good lawyer once told me, when you argue with an asshole, you become an asshole. So I'm not going to argue with you, because clearly you're based in ignorance. And I'm sorry. I'm not just saying that because I think you're wrong. Hey, hello? Aren't you? You're just not providing anything. You're not saying anything that hasn't been regurgitated by a million people without backing. So now I'm an asshole for asking a question. No, you're not an asshole for asking a question. I'm saying you asked a question. If you want, I'm not here to like list all the proof. I'm not Hillary Clinton's lawyers. I'm just saying the reason I am pro-Hillary, not pro-Trump. I have seen. Let's put it in perspective. Let's go down. All right. You want me to break it down? All right. Here you go. To be fair, let's break it down. So the whole thing with Cuba, right? Cuba, Newsweek comes out with a story saying Donald Trump has basically committed treason by doing business in Cuba when it was illegal to spend a single penny there without permission. And then at some point went to a charity. I forget which charity. It was his own charity. I'm just forgetting all the details right now. But if you read the article, it's all there. And then Trump goes on Twitter and says, Newsweek claims this. Where's the proof? The reporter takes a snapshot of the letters from Donald Trump's own executives that says, okay, here's the proof. You want to see the proof? Here's the proof, right? And that happens time and time again. So flip around the other side. Trump says, oh, I never fat shamed Miss Universe. And if I did, it's, it's everything about Donald Trump that's been said. Apparently, it's not true. The media lies, right? The media lies. Donald Trump never lies. The media lies. If you just follow the logic. And now the problem is, I'm not calling anyone individually an asshole or moron. I'm saying Donald Trump has given the assholes and the morons a voice. People like Alex Jones, who is an asshole and a moron, has given these racist idiots a voice. Has made them see, like, in their own minds, seem mainstream. And they're not. They're not. They're extremists. Hillary will do anything to win. They sign contracts to be certain. Wait, they sign contracts to be certain weight. Oh yeah, and I'm with you. You're right. Both parties are garbage. Both parties are garbage. The person that comes at me and says nothing but bad against Donald Trump, Hillary, but again, the stuff I'm saying about Donald Trump, I know to be true. I can't repeat what you're saying about Hillary because as much as I've looked, I can't find anything that says, I'm going to repeat what you're saying. The problem is people just listen to what somebody said and repeat it. If I'm wrong, show me the proof. Show me where to find the proof. And don't tell me a YouTube video. Don't tell me listen to Alex Jones. That's not proof. I've listened to them. I've watched the videos on YouTube. There's no proof. What they say is allegations and conspiracy theory and, right, straight lied about those emails. Did she? Did she? If anything, she might have gotten lawyerly about it. And she might have lied. She might have been caught in some lies. But you know what she didn't do? She didn't keep saying every day, I was right, I was right, I was right. Where Donald Trump is a complete idiot. Yeah, there you go. She lied and she apologized. When has Donald Trump done that? When has Donald Trump ever done that? The only reason we're talking about this universe today is because Donald Trump can't let it go. Donald Trump is the asshole and the moron. Exactly. When has Donald Trump ever admitted he was wrong? Which racist comments? Who are you talking from? Are you talking about from Alex Jones? Are you talking from Donald Trump? Are you talking from, we could go down the line here, and I'm only running out of time. I don't want you to think I'm getting out of this just because I don't have it written down, from Trump. All right, what you need to do is listen to Donald Trump every day and open your own mind up. Open your own mind up to everybody. At times, that was one version of what he said. The problem is, if you only pick and choose the things you want to hear from Donald Trump or the other people. And you know what? I don't know you. I'm not even sure who you are. I don't know if you're a racist. I'm not the guy who says all Republicans are racists. I think all alt-right are. But the problem is two things. The Republican Party has given a home to the assholes and morons that are racist and bigoted. Right, and I'm not saying you are. I'm saying if you don't think Donald Trump has ever said anything racist, you're not listening to everything he says, or you don't know the whole situation. I know a lot of Democrats that are racist too. That's why I'm not a Democrat. You're right. We might even be on the same page, talking from a different direction. On paper, I'm libertarian. I'm conservative politically. That's right. Actually, these comments are coming so fast now, I don't know who's who.
My neighborhood's mostly Mexican immigrants. Nobody here feels unsafe.
I think he says a lot of things people are afraid to say. Yeah, because the racists don't want to be caught out as racist. The whole thing. I teach communications. I work with a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people over the years that said, I'm saying the things nobody else is willing to say. And that's been an excuse. I'm not afraid to be anti-PC. What's Luke Cage? Luke Cage is a Marvel superhero that has a new TV show out that came out today on Netflix. So I started out talking about Luke Cage just because I'm a big Luke Cage fan. Oh, a big superhero fan, and I'm really looking forward. Yeah, that's right. Luke Cage is a tough guy. You know, he's got like almost like the powers of Superman without flying. He doesn't have like the heat ray vision, but when you hit him, it's like the same as hitting Superman. He's like, what? Was he on Mortal Kombat? No, Luke Cage is a Marvel. Marvel. He's one of the Defenders. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage is a third in that series. Iron Fist comes out early next year, I think. Johnny Cage, yeah. Johnny Cash. And crap, stupid phone. All right, I can't. I don't do well. I want to interact, and then the plenty of Mexican immigrants. Yeah, and I also know a lot of Mexican immigrants. They're some of the best people I know. Really great folks. Some are, I know a lot of people that are immigrants from all nations that are really amazing people, and I'd rather sit down with them for a conversation and hear about their diversity. Presidents change policy doesn't. Mexicans are the hardest workers. Yeah, I guess all Americans are lazy too. Do you think illegal immigration is wrong? I'm not a big fan. I'm not a supporter of illegal immigration. I'm not a supporter of illegal immigration. No. I don't support deporting everyone either. I don't support mass deportation. I think if they are criminal, they should be deported. But you know who also thinks that more than anybody else? Obama. Everything, like Donald Trump's immigration policy right this second, if you believe where he is today, is Obama's plan. Building a wall is not going to do shit because they come in through tunnels anyway. They come in other ways. It's not going to stop the drug flow. It's not going to stop other things. You know what will stop drugs? Less of this vehement talk. The world is not as bad off as Donald Trump supporters thinks it is. It's not that bad. Individuals might be having a hard time finding a job, blah, 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 blah. Obama inherited a really crap situation because we're not growing fast enough. People are upset, but we are growing. We're growing at a slow rate. We're not growing fast enough for certain people to get rich off of the stock market by just investing, right? But we are growing. Billions per year in tax dollars go to waste because of illegal immigration, right? Billions in tax dollars go to waste for a lot of things. A lot of things. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta do a show. I gotta get to the city. Come see me Friday, 7 o'clock tonight at the Broadway Comedy Club. Improv comedy. We're gonna have a good time.
You say in closing?
What's that?
You say
In closing,
without being
people that are gonna yell extremist things, and most of it's coming from the right now more than anybody else. When the left says stupid things that are absolutely wrong, I'll pick that apart too. And I'm not arguing about what you're saying right now because I don't have the facts in front of me to argue those. So I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not saying we're perfect, but it's not as bad as you think it is. It really isn't. And it's not bad enough to justify voting for the ignoramus in chief, Donald Trump.